Hello, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing good. Let's get on today's video. A 22-year-old student was found hanging from the tree at the University of Fort Hare in the Eastern Cape. Phumelela Maneli was reported out with her friends on September 14. She disappeared a few hours later. She was nowhere to be found. Her lifeless body was found hanging from the tree the next morning. It is alleged that she was raped before murdered. She had just completed her Bachelor's of Health Science and was furthering her honors at the university. No arrests have been made. I would firstly love to say condolences to the family, friends, as well as schoolmates. Such a young, vibrant person full of life, whose life was cut short in the painful way. Now, I did a little research and I found out that the past few years, a lot of women have been killed, murdered, and died in the hands of men. It's safe to say now that men, you are becoming a problem. Obviously, I'm not going to generalize this, but a lot of you are becoming monsters. Because when I was reading this, the report says that she was raped. It's alleged that she was raped before she was murdered. And my instinct tells me that this is not a doing of a one person. It's more than two people who were doing this. They then hung her on the tree. How do you as a one individual hang a person on the tree? It does not make sense. Men, you are becoming monsters. This is just like, it's the most inhuman, painful manner to take someone else's life. They did what they wanted to do. Why kill her? And on the other side, when I was looking, browsing in the internet, I saw that there are a lot of campaigns, awareness campaigns that have been founded, that have been created in the past years. Which then I saw that the problem is not awareness in this. The killing of women, there are a lot of numerous campaigns that have been created in the past few years about raising awareness, GBV. There's just a lot of campaigns that have been created for men to not know that what they're doing is wrong. So what I saw is that the problem is not awareness. The problem is not about lack of education, men being educated of the whatever, like hurting women, violating women, consent. That's not the problem. What I saw is that the problem that men have, majority of men have, is that they have pure love for wickedness. They have pure love for wickedness and lust. That's what I saw in this. The whole thing that they did to this young 22-year-old is just pure wickedness and lust. The problem is not awareness. There are a lot of awareness campaigns who are doing that. The problem is not due to lack of education. Men are not being educated about this. You don't need to be educated to know that killing another person is wrong. You don't need education on that. If you need education on that, why not kill your sister? Why not kill your mother if you need education if you need to be educated to know that harming or hurting another person is a problem? So lack of education is not a problem here, as well as awareness. The problem that majority of men have is wickedness as well as lust. That's the problem. Now, I also did my research and asked different people about their opinions and take on this, and this is what I came with. So I came with these 4 things that I think they are a problem that we are faced with, like men of today are faced with. Now, this issue requires a multi-faced approach. I'm talking about all 4 corners of the square. The 4 issues that I think all of this is stemming from I think the number one problem that most men are faced with, it's pornography addiction. I think it's the number one root cause that makes men to commit such heinous acts. I think number one, it's pornography addiction. A lot of men are into pornography. Now, when pornography starts, it starts like it's harmless, innocent fun. But the research and the report shows that as a person consumes a lot of this content, it leads them to want to get into unreal, unnatural stuff. Now, you get used to watching just two people. You end up wanting to watch more. I want to see more people doing it. 4, 5, 6. You end up wanting to see more. It kind of escalates. So you end up like saying, okay, this is all natural. I want to see the extreme side of it. And that's where a seed is planted in you. Because what you see, you want to practice it. You're not going to just see it and be satisfied. You want to practice it. So I think the number one leading cause of this is pornography. And I actually did a research on Google and looked at the stats in the past few years. So this is what Google revealed to me. Studies reports that about up to 70% of men have viewed pornography in the past year, compared to roughly 40% of women. Other studies find that 90 to 95% of men have engaged in casual pornography use at some point. Data found that the number of online pornography users in the country had increased by 310% since 2004. So this just shows that pornography is like a cancer. It's a growing disease. It's not declining. The numbers are keep on going up and shooting up and up. So I think the number one problem that a lot of men are currently faced with, which makes them to do this heinous act, it's number one, pornography. I think that's the number one problem. Pornography, when I say pornography goes hand in hand with lust. So those are two things. The number two thing that I think is the problem in this, in most men that are faced with, it's entertainment. It's the entertainment industry. Now, when I mean the entertainment industry, I mean the music videos, the songs that a lot of these men listen to. Songs that are degrading women, songs that are calling women with all these naughty, disgusting names. A lot of these young boys will listen to these songs. You are what you listen to. You are what you watch. So when you listen to songs that continuously degrades women, that tells you that women are objects and that you can just use and discard, that's where the problem starts. And a lot of these men listen to these songs. I personally don't like a young man who listens to hip hop. A lot of hip hop genre, it's about these things that I'm articulating here. So these young men, they listen to these songs, they watch things that are detrimental to their mental health and how they view women. So you're not gonna watch movies that women are killed left, right, and center and think that you will protect women. Obviously, you are what you watch, and it's gonna show. So that's the second problem that a lot of men have today. I'm talking about television. Television is also part of entertainment industry. It's also part of entertainment industry, sorry. And a lot of young men, they don't select their program. They don't select the content that they consume. You have to be mindful of what you consume. Remember the word entertainment industry. What is entering your body? It says entertainment. So there's something that is entering your mind, entering your body, and it will display in the long run. Whatever you consume, you will start practicing it. So also television is a problem for some men. A lot of these men, they are not selective of their content. They just consume whatever is in front of them. And this results to such cases of young women falling victim to what these young men are consuming and listening to. Now, the fourth one, it's the love of wickedness. Some men are into wicked things. They're just into wicked, dark, lustful things. Now, whatever happens is a result of what came as an idea. As I've said, I don't think this is a doing of one person. I think there were more than two people in this case. There were more than two people involved, because how do you as an individual hang a person on the tree? A person is heavy, especially when they are unconscious. A person is heavy. There's no way you can carry a person where the cameras, no one is seeing you carrying a person and you are just hanging that person on the tree. This is a group work. It's a group of people who did this. I don't believe that it's just an individual who did this. So these men, to men out there, this should be a wake-up call. You might say, but I didn't do it. But one of you did it. Your gender did it. So you have to not look at this thing like it's a far thing. But whatever that you're looking at, it's behind you. If someone who is one of you is able to do something like this, that means you might be capable of doing something like this. So you really have to do a self-introspection and reflect on this and ask yourself the why and the how part. How do you as a person get to a point of murdering someone in this cruel way? Why? Because this could have been prevented. But the things that I have I counted, I think they are parts of the contributing factors for men to commit such heinous acts. It comes from something that you saw. It came as an idea and you ended up executing that idea. So men, you really have to look deep inside yourself and ask yourself, why as men are we doing this? And when I tell you guys that I also was looking at the physical structure of a man and a woman, we're not the same. And it just hurts me to see that men are using the physical, natural advantages of themselves to victimize and to harm women. Instead of protecting women, they are harming women. When I looked at the natural structure of a man and a woman and I googled it, it says men generally have a larger, more angular structure with broader shoulders, greater muscle and bone mass, and less body fat, while women typically have a wider pelvis, broader hips. Yes. So when you look at this, the broader shoulder and broader hips, you just can see the difference there. Our country is not a safest place to be right now because of men. Some men who are doing it, who are doing these things and thinking of these things. So it's painful to see this, that even as a woman you can carry an object, you have to carry a harmful object wherever you go. But this is not just about carrying objects. As I've just read, the general structure of a man compared to a woman, it's two different things. Even if you can carry that knife of yours, men have this, they have these techniques, they have these angles. And one thing I've realized about men is that they are into details. They have a sharp eye. A man can look at you for 5 seconds and observe everything. They are coming to you because they saw you, they looked at everything, and right then they instantly knew the purpose of coming to you. A man can look at you for 5 seconds and see everything that he needs to see. The time he comes to you, he knows why he's coming to you. He sees that, okay, this one is not my type, but I can just pass time with. This one is not a wife material, but I can just have fun with. That's how sharp they are. They have an eye for detail. They can just look at something for just few seconds and they know everything. So this thing, I believe it was carefully planned. It was a premeditated, carefully planned thing. Because there's no way you can just do something like this and you haven't planned it. They planned this, and they planned the victim. And for fathers out there, what are you teaching your sons? What are you teaching them? Now, I think this is a pandemic in our country. And with the rising cases like this, it just shows that we haven't touched the core of it. We're just scratching the surface. We can speak all we want, have more awareness campaigns, but if we haven't touched the core of it, there's no change. Because even the penalty that men who are doing such things, the penalty that they get, it's just not something that would make someone who is thinking of committing this to be scared of doing it. Same old. Go to custody, go on trial, get arrested, serve those years, and be out on bail or be out of parole, and then you come back and commit another crime. I believe that a law has to change now. There should be an added penalty on this. We can't be having such cases like every day, every month. Not so long ago, there was a case like this. Now there's this case. Something has to be done here. And I want to also pass a message to fathers out there. Have conferences. Speak to one another. You know each other. You know how you guys think. You know the struggles that you as men face. Open programs for each other. Raise awareness amongst each other. Teach one another what is a woman. Now there is this podcast lapho khona ubudmuzi. Yes. Let me just Yes, ubabmuzi Mtabela. Not a lot of young guys, not a lot of young men listen to Umuzi Mtabela. That man is married, well principled. Speak to men, have conferences with men. When he announces a conference, yes, men will appear, but not in large masses. That man is well principled. There was never any scandal of any sort about Muzi doing things and this. There's no scandal. Those are kind of men that young men out there should be following. People like Umuzi Mtabela. There are a lot of people, well-principled men like Ubab Muzi Mtabela, but these young men, they would decide to go and listen to all Travis Scott, listen to people with lyrics that degrade women, instead of going and attending the conferences of a man who is showing you what a man is. Through their actions and what they preach, they show you what a man is. So I honestly believe that this is a matter of men. As men, have your own conferences. Touch the core. What makes you guys to be monsters like this? What makes you as a man to think of something like this? Sit in a group with your peers and plan something painful, a painful thing like this. Because this was planned. How then do you as a person sit with your friends and plan to kill an innocent girl who has parents, who has dreams, who has goals, who has a purpose in life, and you just decide to end it all like that? Follow people like Umuzi Mtabela. He's very successful, married, well-principled. Don't go and watch a show. Aboban. There was this show DS. I will remember its name. But it's about these old men who are chasing young girls. Umuzi Mtabela is so against that. He speaks that. He practices what he preaches. He speaks against men like that. Follow people who would give you life, who would give you wisdom to help you and elevate and grow you mentally, spiritually. So I believe this is a battle that only men will be able to stop. And as well as the justice system of this country, the penalty has to increase. Even if it means that penalty has to come back, so be it, to stop this.